Hey guys, John from the John Muir Show here, and when you are an outgoing, Trump-hating member of Congress, well, what do you do with your life? It's simple. Of course, you get a job with CNN, and that is the case for a couple of the folks who just left Capitol Hill. That would be outgoing far-left Congressman Luis Gutierrez of Illinois and outgoing Rhino Congresswoman Mia Love of the state of Utah. Both of them got hired by CNN. Heck, earlier today, they were just introduced by the Clinton News Network during its New Day program, where both of them were up on stage together talking about the current government shutdown. And yeah, to save you some time, you don't really have to go back and watch the entire thing. I can summarize it for you pretty quickly. I mean, it was surprising that they didn't get to a point, Love and Gutierrez, where they just sat down on the floor, held hands, and sang Kumbaya together, because they were just agreeing on every single thing they were talking about, saying, oh yeah, you know what, if Representative Gutierrez was still in Washington, D.C., and Representative Love was still in D.C., oh, well, we could solve this government shutdown immediately. We'd come up with a great compromise. Worth noting, though, that, yeah, up until last week, Gutierrez and Love were both in Washington, D.C. Both of them were still sitting members of Congress, and they did absolutely nothing to end the current government shutdown, so blowing a lot of smoke. But they probably didn't want you to realize that. Nonetheless, though, they kept going on and saying, well, this is our plan for the compromise. And the plan involved Mia Love, who is a quote-unquote Republican, saying that, oh yeah, well, the Republicans, you know, who have control of the White House and control of the Senate, you know, 2 out of the 3 components that are necessary here, with Democrats only having the House, saying that, yep, Republicans, they need to concede a lot, and Republicans need to give this up and this up and this up, and then we can get to a spending plan that everyone's going to like. You know who didn't say anything about conceding? Luis Gutierrez. He didn't mention a damn thing about Democrats even giving an inch on this matter. So basically, the compromise that Mia Love and Luis Gutierrez were working out here to finally end this government shutdown is to say that Republicans should go giving away a whole bunch of stuff, and Democrats should give away nothing. So in the end, the Democrats end up being happy, even though the voters so largely have said, no, we want Republican solutions. We want a border wall. That's why 63 million people frickin' voted for Donald Trump back in November of 2016. But nope, the compromise that Mia Love and Luis Gutierrez worked out, nope, it doesn't give the people what they want. It just gives the taxpayers a bunch of stuff that they have voted to say they do not want. Yeah, they want taxpayers to continue, as has been the case so many times in so many previous spending plans, to spend their money on things that they don't want, that do not benefit the majority of Americans, while not allowing taxpayers to spend their money on things they do want, that they did vote for, that do benefit most Americans. Like with a border wall, to keep our southern border safe when it's being constantly threatened, constantly invaded, this is something that would benefit all law-abiding American citizens. That's what President Trump and the true conservatives in Washington, D.C. are fighting for. But nope, Mia Love and Luis Gutierrez, nope, business as usual. We're a couple of swampy politicians, and we want the swamp to live on, so you know what? Screw the average American, screw the people who vote, screw the taxpayers. What's best for us here in Washington, D.C.? What's going to be best for lining our pockets? That's all they give a damn about. And it is so good to see that those two are not in Congress anymore. I mean, heck, Mia Love, she calls herself a Republican, but I mean, there is nothing conservative about this woman whatsoever. She's somebody who throughout her entire time in Washington, D.C. was someone who just wanted to look out for herself. She never wanted to get into debates with Democrats. Guess what? Politics, it's not all fun and games. It's not all like sitting on a CNN set with Luis Gutierrez holding hands singing Kumbaya. Sometimes there's going to be disagreements. Sometimes there's going to be tough conversations. But you know what? Those conversations need to be had. For the good of your country, for the good of your constituents, you need to go to bat. And sometimes you're going to have to disagree with people. Sometimes you're going to have to argue with people. But you know what? You're the one signing up for the job. You're the one that's getting 6 figures to do it. You know what? You should do your damn job. Mia Love never did. And guess what? It's no surprise that she got voted the hell out because the people of Utah were sick of it. It's just absolutely unbelievable that you still have people in prominent positions like these 2 people who were just sitting members of Congress a little over a week ago going up there and saying, nope, let's just keep business as usual. Business as usual is what has gotten our country invaded by so many foreign nationals who are costing the American taxpayer roughly $130 billion a year to fund the lifestyles of. Business as usual sure as hell ain't working, and now that us reasonable Americans, us sensible Americans who actually care about this country and who actually want to do what's best for this country, now that we know what it's like to finally have a president in the White House who in this moment is going to bat for us and what we want, and having some true conservative allies on Capitol Hill who are doing the same, we are never going to settle for any less again. No more of the damn stupid compromises that don't do a thing to help this country, like the ones being floated by Mia Love and Luis Gutierrez. And that's all the time that we have for today. We're back tomorrow morning on The John Muir Show, 8:40 a.m. on WTAQ, 9 a.m. on WSAU and WHBL. Until then, of course, roll Tide, roll.